Hello everyone, welcome to day 13 of my 30-day Yoga for Beginners series. This video kicks off the flexibility portion of the series with a short hip opening yoga flow. When you're ready, find a comfortable seated position and begin to tune into your breath. Close your eyes and breathe deeply. Your next inhale, press your chest forward, and exhale, round back. Inhale, press forward, exhale, round back. Continue, inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale and exhale. Begin to take it into a circle. So you can find a lot of movement or a little bit of movement in the spine here. It's totally up to you. Do what feels good. Switch directions. Next time you're forward, hold there. Round forward and back. A couple more times here. Move with your own breath, breathing in and out through your nose. Go ahead and hold in the center. We'll make our way to all fours. And begin to rock left and right in your hips. So all you're doing is pressing your body weight to one side and to the other. When it comes to stretching, it's always good to get some movement in beforehand, some dynamic movements, whether you're warming up through sun salutations or small movements like this. Go ahead and hold in the center, and then we'll begin to take some small circles in the hips. If you feel more comfortable here and want to make a bigger motion, go for it. Switch directions. And take your knees wide, big toes to touch as you sink back for an active child's pose. And stretch your arms out in front. Sink low. Allow yourself to breathe here. Slow everything down. On your next inhale, come back through all fours. Begin to lunge your left foot forward. And lunge it forward so that the knee aligns over the ankle. And toe heel the foot a little bit out to the left so you're able to put both hands beneath your shoulders on your mat. Allow yourself to breathe into your lizard pose here. We'll begin to hold the postures a little bit longer to allow your oxygen to reach your muscles and facilitate a deeper stretch. Go ahead and release back to your knees. We'll begin to take some circles in the left knee. So if you need to watch first, rewind the video and try on your own, I encourage that. Drawing as big of a circle as you can with that left knee. The stronger you get in your hip muscles, the bigger of a circle you'll be able to make. Release that knee to the floor and we'll stretch the right foot forward for lizard pose on the right. That foot to the outside of your rib cage on the right side. Hands come down directly below the shoulders. Hold and breathe here. Release back to all fours. And begin to take those circles in the right hip, pulling your knee to your chest, up and around. Release that knee to the mat. And sink back for your child's pose. Knees are wide, big toes to touch. Hinge forward slightly so your hips are in line with your knees from the side. And we'll make our way to a frog pose. In frog, the knees are at a 90-degree angle as well as the hips and the ankles. Allow your knees to slide further and further apart from each other. As you become more flexible, your hips will get closer to the floor. When you're first starting out, don't be discouraged if there's a good foot between you and the floor. Just continue to breathe as long as you're feeling a stretch along the muscles of your inner thighs. That is a successful frog stretch. As your flexibility training becomes more advanced, you'll be able to hold poses for longer. As a good rule of thumb, though, it takes about 5 breaths for the oxygen to reach your muscles. When you're ready to come out, find your child's pose once again. If you have an urge to hold any of the poses in this video for longer, I highly encourage it. Feel free to just pause the video, continue to stretch, and press play when you're ready to join back in. Next up, we have pigeon pose with the left foot forward. If you have a block, that is excellent for starting out stretching your pigeon. So this front thigh is parallel to the long edge of your mat, and pigeon is taught many different ways. If you find a way that feels best on your body, I encourage you to practice like that. If this really does not feel good to you, you can take a figure 4 stretch on your back. So I'll show it from the front angle. Again, my front thigh is parallel to the side edge of the mat. I'm sitting up nice and tall, and my heel is towards my hip. As you become more flexible, you'll be able to bring the heel further from your hip and get deeper into the hip of the left side. So find your pigeon here, breathe and sink lower. If you aren't able to come to your forearms quite yet, don't worry. Gently release. Come back through all fours, take any little movements here to get your hips feeling good again after that deep stretch. And we'll move into pigeon on the other side. So if you're using that block, put it right up under the hip of the front leg. Here you can see how my right ankle is close to my left hip flexor. Find your pigeon on this side. Gently come out of your pigeon. Tuck your toes and find your way to a downward facing dog. Stretch out your hamstrings, walk out left and right. Take any movements here that feel good. Begin to walk your feet forward, feet wide to the edges of your mat, and sink your hips back for a low squat here. We're coming down towards a Malasana yogi squat. If you don't have the ankle flexibility quite yet or the hip flexibility, you may want to place a block under your hips like I'm doing here. It's the same stretch as long as you're feeling a little stretch here. Here's what the posture looks like without the block. Use your elbows to actively press your knees a little bit wider and eventually make your way down to a seated butterfly position. Soles of the feet together, knees wide. And as you exhale, use your elbows to press your knees a little wider. Release slightly and press back in. Release both legs long, then pull your left knee to your chest and across the right side of your body for a twist. When you're twisting to the left side of the room, you should feel a slight stretch in the outside of your left hip as well as a twist in your lower back. Go ahead and return to center, switch sides. Return to center. Bring the soles of your feet together, knees wide as you lay on your back. Palms face open towards the ceiling. Allow your eyes to close and the weight of your body as well as gravity to work to open your hips here. So very passive stretch. When you're ready, pull your knees to chest and a little wide of your rib cage as you rock your knees left and right, actively pulling your knees closer towards the mat. Find stillness. We'll take a figure 4 stretch on our back here. Outside of the right ankle to the top of the left thigh. If that's as far as you come, stay there if that's an intense stretch for you. If you want more, you can weave your hands below your left thigh. Make sure to keep that ankle engaged by flexing the foot. And breathe the air. Fuji, my lovebird, is joining me for these stretches. And release. We'll switch sides. Find the same variation you did on the other side. I'm trying to make ourselves even here. Release, soles of the feet together, hands to the ankles or to the feet wherever you can reach. Hands can also come to the tops of the knees for Reclined Butterfly. And any stretch you're taking on your back, aim to have your low back flat and your tailbone down on the mat. Next up, we're coming to a happy baby pose. Feet up towards the ceiling, reach around ankles or around your feet. Actively pulling your knees wide to either side of your body. Also an option to reach around the backs of your thighs here, wherever is accessible to you. Again, pressing your low back flat to the mat as well as your shoulder blades as much as you can. And gently rock left and right. And relax, soles of the feet together, knees wide on your mat. Bring one hand to your belly and the other to your heart. Rest here. And when your hands are placed here, bring extra attention to your breath. So feel the rise and fall of your chest and pull that breath deeper down towards your belly. Pull your knees together, extend both legs up towards the ceiling, circle out the ankles, stretch a little into the hamstrings. And that's all I have for day 13. Make sure you tune in tomorrow for day 14, focusing on hamstring flexibility. Let me know in the comments how you're feeling with these flows. Namaste.